Welcome guys, and in today's video we're going to be tattooing a hand, specifically this hand right here and, well, that piece. And I'm going to explain everything I'm doing and talk about tattooing hands. So if you guys are ready for that, then let's go. So let's jump right into it. Right off the bat here, I'm running the CNC Q2. At this moment, those thicker lines that you see in the stencil, that's a 9-round liner I'm running. And my machine's set at around 8.3, 8.5 volts. And when you're down here in the knuckles, or in that area even close where the skin is really kind of wrinkly, if you will, you want to make sure that you're taking your time, going slow, making sure that those needles are given the appropriate amount of time to saturate the skin. It's a high traffic area, the hand, especially if you're up in knuckles. Now here for these smaller lines you see here, I'm using a 5-round liner. So again, I have the 9-round liner for the thicker lines, the 5-round liner for the smaller lines, and then also we're going to be using a 3-round liner later for some dot work. So for me, in this tattoo, I went a little bit slower with my lines, just a little bit. I wanted to make sure they had enough time to get the ink saturated into the skin properly. Now again, like I've said, the hands are a tricky area and this can be an issue. So taking your time, going slow will definitely help you out. Now again, it all comes down to your hand speed and compared to your voltage and how those two things interlock. You could run really fast speed and move your hand a bit faster. But for me, I'm right around 8 volts, anywhere from 8 to 9 volts, and that's my comfort level. And this is about the speed I move at. Now, when it comes to hand tattoos, what I like to do is after the initial tattoo is complete, I like to schedule them for a follow-up appointment. A month out is good, couple weeks, let it heal, make sure it's completely healed. And then have them come back in, take a look at it, fix the areas that may have faded. Again, high traffic area, it can be exposed to the sun. A lot of things can make it heal awkwardly or maybe not in the way that you planned it to heal. So again, try to get that client to come back in, take another look at it, touch up those areas that need touched up, and that's going to keep your clientele coming back because they know you stand behind your work, and it's also going to make sure that your work is out there speaking for itself. Now, I work from the bottom up most of the time. In this case, the stencil, I let it dry for quite a while. I wasn't concerned about the stencil going anywhere. So I kind of worked in a bottom up, round kind of area, almost like a spiral towards the middle. And here, I'm going in there with black and I'm just filling in the areas I want filled in. Now here I'm using a 9-round liner. I could have used a small mag, maybe even a round shader, but I had already set out to use a 9, a 5, and a 3, and really those areas were so small and I wanted to be accurate, so I chose to just stick with the 9-round liner, and at some points I do drop down to the 5-round liner to fill in some of these small areas. So you absolutely can fill in areas with a liner. And over here, again, I'm filling in all those points. We filled in the middle. Now there's these points out on the outside. Also, again, using that 9-round liner, taking my time and just making sure I pack that ink in really well. The biggest thing about the hand is that you need the ink to saturate really well. Now, you want to, ride the line between blowing everything out and making sure it's properly saturated. There's a big difference, and that's why I think sometimes just moving a little bit slower will help that out. You're not necessarily going deeper, but you're moving a little slower, giving those needles a little bit more time in the skin to lay down the proper amount of ink it needs. Now here, we're jumping in. I'm using the 3-round liner in some 50% black, a little 50%, a little 25%, and I'm using that 3-round liner and just making small dots in that area. Just trying to fill it out. There's no real rhyme or reason here. Just get as many of those dots in there till it starts to look the way I want it to look. So I continue on throughout all those parts, filling in those little points like you see here. And again, that's just dot, 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 wipe, take a look, more dots, wipe, take a look, more dots. Move on to the next one.
All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I don't know what to do. There's no one to save me from this hurt I feel deep within my bones.
Alright, so after I put those dots in there with that 25% ink, I'm going back with a 50%, a 75% ink, and just shading up a little bit, just to give a little bit of a difference there, a little bit of a gradation. Nothing serious, it's a very small area, but just to add that little extra. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell to get notifications when I post, when we go live, if we do anything extra. And until next time, peace.